here we go. We are live on the YouTube from, of course, I'm here in Hamilton, Ontario. It's bright and sunny and just out of the pool. And from the UK. No, you're not in the UK.
Not anymore.
Not from the UK in beautiful North Carolina, ditching hurricanes. He's dodging hurricanes. He's fighting the hurricanes and the tornadoes. It is. You're not talking with a Welshian accent.
No, I can't do the Welsh accent. It's a little bit too much for me. And I don't think I was there long enough to get exposed to any accents.
You
but
didn't
yes,
slip into like a little hello, governor? Hello, did you?
No, gov.
When you saw you didn't know hello, governor. Hello, governor. Did they all?
No, the term of the trip was magic. Our tour guide, every time he would tell us something, he'd be like,
the new owner of the Washington Commanders.
Oh. No, not that. We'll have to talk about that some later. For sure.
Foreshadowing.
But no, it was awesome, Jeff. It is hot as shit here, and it is overcast today.
Brag.
So I'll definitely trade with you. I'll go back to 65 Fahrenheit any day. Any day. Yeah, humble brag. Yeah, you were swimming this morning. What are you talking about? You come in. I'm like, man, what's wrong? You look tired. I was just doing laps this morning. Okay. Humble brag my ass.
Humble brag. I was just doing some laps this morning in the pool.
Yeah.
Everybody in the pool. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, what did I miss? What has been going on with you?
Nothing.
Same as what I left.
Nothing.
Great.
Just swimming. Just gaming. Playing a little GTA 5, playing a little GTA 5 with the boys. My sons get upset because I in the first stream I kept asking Crow, how do you put the blinker on? What's the blinker button? Is there how do you know like in the American Trucking Simulator, I can put the blinker on but I couldn't figure out how to. I don't use that there either, but couldn't figure out how to do that. So yeah, just
well, you had Doc driving around the other night.
I had Doc driving me around the other night. I was playing with Doc. I was playing with a couple of Big Mac friends. A couple of Big Mac's buddies were jumping in. I am talked to Ray. I got permission. When he's away for a couple of weeks in August, I'm going to do a couple of Wreckfest streams just to keep it going. In honor of Ray not being around.
Awesome.
So
going. Ray doesn't get vacation. That wasn't approved.
Yeah, apparently he got some PTO. His PTO was approved.
Here.
Yeah, his PTO got
approved. We're gonna have to have a chat with upper management.
I know. They approved that he's going to Hawaii for 2 weeks.
Oh,
I know.
That's gonna be amazing.
I know. Yeah, just gaming with the community, playing the retro games, making content. It's all about making content.
Yeah.
If you want, you want people to see your stuff, you gotta make the content. You just can't go live and hope people are going to show up.
You had some stand-ins last week.
We did. Big thanks to Ann
amazing.
And Jim, longtime friends, longtime collaborators. Although they want to do a show with you.
Well, sounds good. Sign me up. I tell you, I was telling you last night.
With you. So
I went. The first watch through that I did of it, I'll be honest, I skipped ahead a lot because I wanted to try to make sure that, I saw what key points you all were hitting on and this and that. And then I went back and watched it a little bit more thoroughly. And when Ann dropped the F-bomb, I was like, I about fell out of my seat. I didn't expect that. Maybe just because I don't know her as much, right? But I laughed hysterically, almost fell out of my seat. So SP Jizzle. So yeah, she was hilarious. Jim's quirky. You all were like a three-headed monster. It was really enjoyable to watch that back. So thank you all for doing that.
Yeah, like I said in our meeting last night, we've been friends for like 20 plus years.
Right.
Jim lives like 10 minutes away. Like, I could go on Sundays for waffles. I never do. But I could go for maybe when his kid goes away to school, he'll be down to one kid. It'll just be the two of them. So maybe I can go for waffles then, not to bother the family. Not that I don't think the kid is awake for waffles, but anyways, yeah.
Well,
and
it was amazing.
Come out here. So Good times. SPG is awake. SPG back from his big trip to Minnesota. So that should be fun.
Jeff?
Oh, yeah. So the trip. How was the trip?
I just lost audio.
Uh-oh. We can hear you.
No idea what happened, Jeffy. Hold on.
Is this thing on? Hello? Hello?
Nope.
Hello?
What the heck, man?
He doesn't have to hear me, does he?
This is why I don't like technology, You get live, and then stupid shit happens. I was just listening to you, and now I can't freaking hear a word you're saying.
Oh, dear.
What the heck?
Don't know.
Hold on.
I don't know. Can people hear me? Everyone hear me? Let me check.
Let
me check the audio here.
Like my headphones disappeared. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh, yeah. We got audio. All right. We got audio.
Right.
We're good there.
Oh,
trip was good, SPG says. SP Jizzle says the trip was good. There you go. Excellent.
I hear you.
How was your, I hear you both. All right. Excellent. All righty. We'll cut that out in post-production. Don't worry, folks. We'll fix that. We'll fix that in post-production.
I don't know what's going on.
So how was your trip? So do you have any pictures?
Yeah. Awesome. I do. Thank you for segueing and saving me there. We do have some pictures. Let me share that for you. I didn't have that ready to go. And let me just kind of walk you through this a little bit. So obviously went to the UK for 8 days, UK, Ireland, however you want to call it. We were there on a trip for our daughter's high school soccer team. And they got to play 3 games across the areas that we went to. And when we weren't there for soccer, we were there for touristy shit. So top left corner up there is the very first place that we went to. That's St. Paul's Cathedral, right in the middle of London. Absolutely gorgeous inside. The amount of time that it took to do some of these things, just, as I'm looking across all of these buildings, these historical monuments and things, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So
nice.
St. Paul's Cathedral, went all the way up to the top of the dome, stood there and looked out across London. So it was really, really cool. Big Ben, you see Big Ben there. Cool thing about us seeing Big Ben was that it had been under construction.
Former quarterback of the Steelers?
That's right. He was there in his black and gold. They had been re-cleaning the face of the clock. So since COVID, it's been under wraps, but it's finally uncovered. And so we got to see it all shiny and gold. So that was pretty cool. The black armor you see there was actually the Tower of London. That was my favorite part of the trip. The center building, it just goes through an entire history of, armor and weapons. And that's right up my alley. I loved all of that. So there's a little picture there. The London Eye, which you've seen a million times, I'm sure. Not my favorite part. I don't like heights, and they kept stopping the damn thing when I was up at the top. So not fun.
Awesome. That would have been awesome for pictures and video.
Yeah, well, my wife got a lot of pictures. I think between my wife, myself, my daughter, and my son, we have over 3,000 pictures from our trip. So we weren't shy about pulling the phones out. The castle you see down there in the bottom left, that's Warwick Castle. Henry VIII lived there. We did not stay there, unfortunately. I wish we did. But just, it's so cool to see things that I've seen in books for my entire life, right? So walking through the halls, seeing like the little, the dining room is in the main area there. And when you're upstairs in the hallway, there's like little windows. And I can just imagine like the kids of the castle would go and like eavesdrop on people, just like stuff like that. Looking at all of the little see-throughs up on the top of the wall for the archers to shoot through and stuff. So
I don't think the kids did really that. They would have been hung.
You think so?
He was quick to the hang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also hear a bit
that is a buffet down there in the bottom right that was in the dining area, and I was captivated by it, man. I love woodwork. I think I've talked about that in the past, and just the detail that was in this thing.
You said buffet. I was thinking food.
Yeah, well, it's a food buffet. It is. But that's not the entire reason we were there to sightsee. We were there for some soccer. And so the first game, the girls won 6-1. Riley had 2 goals and 2 assists, and she got the player of the match, which the other team gave to her. They voted her as the player of the match. So she got a cool little trophy there. And then there's all the girls in the group there. They were blown away by the speed of our team.
Is that both teams?
That is both teams together. Yeah. So the cool thing about this was that it was an opportunity for the girls to get to meet the girls from, another country that play the same sport, that have the same passions that they do. And they actually fed us afterwards. So if you can imagine getting beat 6-1 and then feeding your opponent, they were awesome. They were an awesome group of girls. So very cool experience. But then we moved on to Liverpool. There's a Liverpool FC stadium. That was kind of the highlight of Liverpool. Here's Mo Salah. He's probably the most famous player on their team. And as you can see, he is not very big. Or I'm just really big because I was bigger than every cardboard cutout that they had. But just cool experience being down on the field, seeing the work that they put into the turf. It's absolutely amazing. And then you can't go to London without seeing the Beatles statue, right? There they are. Now, I'm not standing next to them because I only came up to the shoulders of the statues. And I know the Beatles weren't that tall, so I didn't want to embarrass myself. But then we got to play another team close to Liverpool, Macclesfield FC. It's actually probably a little closer to Newcastle. It was very, very neat because it was like a minor stadium. They had like bars and stuff if it was open. Cool story is that this team at one point in the past, they had actually moved up to League One and actually played a game against Manchester City, who's a Premier League team. So pretty cool. I also found out on my trip, look at the stud down there in the gold. Look at her. Look, tell me that ain't an athlete right there. Look at that girl. And then there's the whole group of girls. We actually lost this game 4-2. They were a very, very physical team. They had a couple of girls there from America. They were there paid to play. So it was an interesting experience, but still good for the girls. We only had one sub with us, so we just got too tired at the end because they were really, really physical. But kudos to them. They played really great. That's what I was going to say. Macclesfield. While I was there, I found out that Codex Dave and CGD Lee, this is their hometown, and so Dave's son is actually going for like a tryout with this club. Here in a couple of weeks, he said. I'm sure I can say that because it was on Twitter, right? But just super cool. I had no idea that I would be going anywhere anybody I know from here would have gone. Went to Dublin. Here's the replica of the Jeannie Johnston. Transported 2,500 Irish men and women to America and Canada when the hunger happened, the Great Hunger, right? The Great Famine is what they call it. So this ship was important because all 2,500 people that ever stepped on board for that purpose made it safely, where all the other ships had people dying, disease and whatnot. Went to the Guinness Storehouse, which was pretty cool. Went to Trinity College, which was pretty cool. And then we capped it off with a little bit of a Dublin experience, an Irish night. So all in all, great touristy stuff. Oh, but we did get to play some more soccer, and this was against the team Sheffield FC in Ireland, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we won 7-0 in this game.
The Americans come over and kick ass. They'll never invite them back.
Well, I think that they also fed us afterwards. This team did, which was very, very nice. The girls were super sweet. They were just, again, blown away by the speed of our girls. And I'll get into it in a little bit. But one of the things that I've noticed now from doing this little trip, from watching all the soccer that I have, watching my daughter play across the country here in the U.S., is just that our youth game is just a little bit more advanced right now. And in talking to some of the parents there's not really a pathway for the girls in Ireland, especially, to play. They don't have collegiate athletics like we do here in the States. They don't have high school athletics like we do here in the States. So for them, they want to get their kids to come over and play in America. And I think that says a lot about our youth system right now and what it is that we have attained, the talent pool that we have. So just very, very cool to see. There's that group of girls there. Again, just a bunch of sweet girls. They just smiles with all of our girls afterwards. You know, they were so interested in talking to them. I mean, it just really made our girls feel great. I think the thing that really made the trip, though, was our tour guide. Our tour guide was phenomenal. His name is Dominic. And he's from the northern part of England, but man, he had all kinds of little notes to pass out to us, you know, about a quote from somebody that we might have talked about, or, you know, he would take a flag each time we went to a new country or a new area. He would take a flag and run it down the bus over everybody. He was just very like in your face, but very knowledgeable. He really, really made the trip. And I don't think I had to wait for anything, Jeff. The entire time we were there, we would show up somewhere, we would go right in. Like it was incredible. But I've told you in the past, I do the announcements for our high school soccer team. And so I had to record something so that I can use during the high school games next year. When we first got there, he started talking to us about his passion for soccer. He was telling us all this stuff. And when we go to these different areas, he would actually tell us the chants from those areas. And so he made a chant for us. And each game, the parents would cheer it out whenever we felt the need or whenever he would start us. And so I'm going to play it right here. Here you go.
Meat pie, sausage roll, Holy Springs, give us a goal.
So our school is Holly Springs. And so it went meat pies, sausage rolls, Holly Springs, give us a goal. So I'm going to incorporate that into my announcements next year. And the girls are all going to hate me. But
yep.
Awesome trip.
Excellent. No group shot of all the parents too? You can do a parent group shot?
You know, I think we probably have them somewhere. I just wanted to kind of grab what I could here real quick, but yeah, there was 50 of us in total. Nice. And we only had 12 girls that played. We had 11 on the field and 1 sub, right? So a lot of parents were there. It was cool. So I got to meet some people that I hadn't talked to before, and you know, get close to them. Some of the dads, met a dad that used to work for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and then worked for their minor league team. So was talking to him a lot about marketing and, you know, just some of the things that he has learned over his career. And no, it was just a great trip, man. I had a great time with my family. You know, the only things that were rough for me, I think I told you last night, was just food, because I'm just such a picky eater. So that was tough in some instances. But then when we got to Dublin, my ankles hung off the bed. So I put up a tweet about some of the funnier things that I had run into, doors that were real low. We came out of one of the stadiums and went through the turnstiles, and I hit my head on the top of it. My hat fell off. My
I saw
wife's
that.
Laughing. So
I saw that video.
Just silly.
Yeah.
So anyway, all good. Great trip, but I am glad to be home, and I'm glad to be here, Jeff, with you, because we got a show to do. So enough about that, Jazz. I think I've bored everybody for 2 weeks with that.
I'm hearing a little bit of an echo.
On my end?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's end. Do you have your earpiece in, or did you going off the speaker?
Oh, you know what, Jeff?
You're
right.
There we go. Oh, no. Still hear it.
How about now?
Let's see. Nope. Still hear me. I can hear me more now.
I can still hear you, huh?
I can.
Yeah. Well, that ain't good. I can't hear an echo on my side.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's on the stream.
I don't know. Let me see.
Raven, morning. Pika.
You know about that, Jazz? I think I've bored everybody for 2 weeks. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. On my end? Yeah. I don't know. Nope, not on the stream. So that's fine.
All right.
So that's fine. All right.
Lucky you. You get to hear me twice.
No, I hear me.
Oh, well, unlucky you.
I know.
Jeff, what are we talking about this week?
Echo cancellation is on.
Are you using the NVIDIA broadcast?
I am not.
Oh, I am. Since Doc told me about it, it's a.
Here we go.
All right. Love it.
Nope. Oh well. I can adjust. Yeah. What are we talking? Hey. The world is Ryzak. Wait.
Not me.
And then you got to learn all about Bieberheimer. You've been away for 2 weeks.
Oh
You
my
have
gosh.
no idea about Bieberheimer.
Just silly. So silly.
Got a bunch of stuff to hear about, including General Booty. General Booty. And then you get 5 guesses. I get 5 guesses.
You get 5 guesses.
I'm gonna be mixing up it again next week.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be mixing it up next week.
All right.
Yep.
Well, shall we get started?
We should. As always, folks, this episode is always sponsored by Wondershare. You see the cool videos I make in my intros and my animations and my little pop-ups. Gotta thank my friends at
Your
Wondershare.
little shorts.
My little shorts.
You've been pulling.
No, I know. I've been doing ripping clips. I ripped a bunch of clips from last week. So.
I got to be honest with you. It must be pretty easy to use because what you've done has been pretty good. And I didn't know that you had that editorial background. So
I don't. I just point and click. Wondershare makes it easy. Filmora makes it so easy. Just point and click,
there
zoom in, cut. Yep.
There it is.
Yep. I've been watching the editing podcast, trying to learn from Heller Smith. If you don't know who he is, then you should just scroll back in your hole.
That's mean.
I know. I'm mean. All right, what do we got?
Jeff, it is World Cup time. Your favorite sport, soccer. What, you thought I was done talking about soccer, Jeff? Come on, here we go. We're in Australia.
And gave me 5 guesses on this, and this was the answer, and I couldn't get it.
Yep. We are in Australia and New Zealand this year for the Women's World Cup. The American women are the defending champs, and they are the favorites again this year. But they've got some competition this year. England is also one of the highly favorited teams. You can't count out Japan, who won in 2011, and they just won 5-0 yesterday. So pretty interesting how this is going.
Canada didn't score a goal.
Canada did not. They tied. They tied. U.S. won 3-0, but I'm going to be honest with you. We watched it last night, and I wasn't all that impressed with how they played. Their passing was pretty awful, way too hard. They just got some work to clean up. So one of the big stories for a while now has been the equal pay, men and women, right? Grab this article just because I wanted to kind of start us here. Says that the winner of the Women's World Cup is going to get a quarter of what the men's winner would get. And I know that there are a lot of feelings out there about this. I talked with a lot of the girls on the trip about this. Because, to kind of steal from Ann last week, I'm a guy. What say do I have in this? What this? I should not be the one really talking about it. However, as a father and as a husband and as a son, we need to support where we can our women and what they do, right? So it's an important topic around my house.
Question: Is it the economics? Is it the fact that the sponsorship isn't high? The prize pool? Obviously, the money's got to come from somewhere. Unless they got Saudi Arabia just funneling it. Yeah. So is it the sponsorship? Is it, is it, and this is something that we didn't talk about, but there were reports yesterday that ESPN and Disney is looking to bring minority ownership in from the sports leagues, NBA, NFL, right? So, is it the TV deals? Like it was on in TSN in Canada. I don't know what network it was on in the US, but obviously they're not paying as much. So is it, is a function of that? Like I know that women's NBA, WNBA, and some of the women's college is, getting some more airtime and they're getting a little bit more money, right? Is that a contributing factor?
So what I do, there's things I do know and there's things I don't know. Okay. So I don't want to act like an expert on this, but what I do know is that FIFA is the governing body of the World Cup of all international soccer.
You have to pretend to be
right. Sometimes. Okay. And there's basically, let's say there's 2 different accounts, right? You got the men's account, you got the women's account. They don't blend together because they've got to keep it separate for the books, right?
Of course.
So the men's World Cup has been around obviously a lot longer than the women's World Cup has been around.
Sure.
You're going to see, because of that, and because of the fact that men run the whole thing, that the men are going to have different opportunities than the girls are going to have, because the men are what have put butts in the seats for so long. To your point, your advertisements, your sponsorships, your endorsements, your ticket sales, your merchandise, your food, your accommodations, your travel, your leisure, all of this stuff, comes into play, right? The women's game has exploded since, I'd say, the early 90s, right? And it has become much more popular now in these later times of the 2000s we've been in. So I'd say, 2010 to now, just extremely popular. You're starting to see
women's
girls
sports is exploding. College,
it is.
College sports, WNBA. They're hitting record numbers. They have record numbers on the All-Star game. That young lady hit more free throws in the shooting contest than Stephen Curry.
Yep. And so when it comes right down to the brass tacks of it all, it is at the end of the day about money. You're going to get what is brought in, right? So we're growing, we're getting there in the women's sport. It is getting, but it hasn't been around to the point of the men. The men's side is established, right? You know what you're going to get, you know what you're going to do, you know what buttons you can press, you know what chances you can take. They're still trying to feel out the women's side of things. And so where I agree that their performance should be at least on par with what the others, because see, all right, here's the thing, Jeff, it's different here in America. Okay. Our men's team sucks compared to the other men's teams of the world. They just do. And I'll give you case in point. We have a soccer league here called Major League Soccer. We just brought the biggest soccer player on the planet has now come to the league. Okay. We took all of the all-stars from those teams and put them against one English team, and they lost. The all-stars lost. They didn't even score a goal, right? That's just how far behind America is on the men's side. Now flip that over to the women's side. The women are going for their third World Cup victory in a row, fourth in the last 5. And the one that they lost, or the one that they didn't win, they lost. They lost in the championship to Japan. So there is an established history. There is, they are the cream of the crop. That's why I said what I said earlier about how when we were on vacation, when we were over there and we're playing, they were so, our speed and our physicality, the way that we play together, like our youth on the women's side is what the men's side is the rest of the world, right? So you have this group of women, they're like, look, we're winning. We're doing all of the right things. We're not getting in trouble. We're investing into the communities. We're investing into our youth program. We're doing all of this, but we don't get paid the same. So you've got this men's team that goes out here and does horrible, and they make 3 times, 4 times as much as we do as world champions, right? So 2 sides of the coin.
Very passionate. Very passionate.
Where does the money come from? Like to your point, right? Because you got to worry about the money. But shouldn't you also be compensated if you do a good job at your job, right? And so this balance it's a tough conversation for a lot because of where our mindsets have been for so long. I am for the women getting paid what they deserve. They're world champions. They're professionals. They do what they do. But to your point, if the men get $1 billion in their bank account and the women get 100 million in their bank account, they can't pay them the same because they didn't get the revenue that came in. So correct. I think that's always going to be a sticking point for people.
Money is always the root of all
where the conversation ends.
It's always money.
Yes,
always
it is.
money. It's always money.
Always. So we'll see if the U.S. women get to this third one, they just have more ground to stand on. But what I will say about this is I don't want to make the American women look like they are above everybody else or anything like that, because the fight that they're taking on into the courts and things is for all. It's for all women, right?
Of course.
And you've started to see a lot of these other countries' teams kind of follow suit. Canada recently, right? Your Canadian team just went through the same thing. They're starting their litigation processes, and I think the England national team, the Australian national team are doing the same thing. So very, very cool to see stuff come together. I'm not going to get into the men competing in women's sports stuff today. This is about women. And so we'll see what happens with it going forward, and good luck to all of them, because they deserve it. They really do.
That other guy,
they spend just as much time.
Speaking of that other guy, I don't know if you saw the video because you were traveling, you were away. He was out grocery shopping with his family. Just him and his wife and his kids. They were just at the local, wherever, Publix. Just
10 people knew who he was.
No entourage. Well, eventually, then all the cameras showed up. Then people figured out who he was once all the cameras showed up. But
did you see the other video of him running the red light?
No security, just him, just out shopping with the family like he's a real person.
Yeah, casual. There was a video of him leaving, I guess, and he was just running red lights, and the cops were trying to pull him over. Oh my gosh. Being in England for the time that I was, in Ireland, and driving on the other side of the road for as long as we did
you drive?
It scared the shit out of me. I did not. I rode in a bus, but like making a right turn and like going further than it was just weird, man. It was just weird. So
obviously,
not that it's wrong, just it was weird. I'm not used to it.
You should watch Crow and I play European Truck Simulator. We're always hitting we're always turning into the wrong lane. We're always doing the wrong stuff. Roundabouts. Crow and I don't think either of us have figured out roundabouts yet. We don't know how to get in or out of them in Trucking Simulator. You should watch us play that.
Roundabouts are the worst
when we're driving around UK. Then we go other countries and it's all normal, back to normal for us, so we're fine. But,
yeah.
But if we're in London and we travel to the to another country, we're on the wrong side of the steering wheels, on the wrong side of the thing.
And as somebody that drives a manual, like I'm so used to shifting with my right hand. Like I know the pedals are the same, but I don't know if my left hand is as coordinated to do that. I don't know. The pedal games have already started, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the pedals are the same. I think the clutch is on the left and the gas is on the right and the brakes in the middle. I'm pretty sure.
But you got to shift this way.
Yeah, but you got to shift with the left, and I just don't know if I could do that. I'm so used to the right. I got a Jeep Wrangler stick shift, and it's got the long shifter. So I just kind of like put my arm up there like a trucker.
I hear you're good at the long shifter.
Sometimes. As I'm getting older, though, it's getting harder. Not gonna lie.
Sure.
Games are already underway, Jeff. We're already seeing some things. Spain 3-goal winner over Costa Rica. There, remember, goal differential counts in this group stage, so they want to try to score as many goals and give up as least or as few as possible. And then England won this morning. They won 1-0 over Haiti. Haiti looked really strong, actually. And then United States won last night 3-0. Really wasn't that great of a game. The team that impressed me the most, though, was Nigeria. And that is who played Canada, Jeff. The Nigerian goaltender was out of her mind. Like, she was insane. So that is my team to watch right now, is Nigeria. If they can win the next one and stay up in the group, watch out. Watch out for that one. And then this is the last group they haven't played yet. Big soccer countries in there: Argentina, Italy, Colombia, Germany. So should make for some good soccer here over the next couple of weeks. So for those of you that are rolling your eyes, it's women's sports. I'm telling you what, I bet you whatever I've got here on this desk right now, you go head to head with any of those girls on those teams, they'd whoop your ass. So,
nice mug, by the way. Nice mug, by the way.
You like that? You like that? My wife pointed out to me, though, that it's not a coffee mug, it's a tea mug. So I already screwed it up, but I figured I would just be in the spirit because.
Well, then you have to put your pinky out.
We have to drink it like this, Jeff.
I've never seen a big tea mug.
I don't know. Oh shit! I just spilled it on me. She said it was a tea mug, so I don't know. I'm gonna take her word for it. I don't drink tea. That shit's nasty.
What does she know?
Yeah, what does she know? She's only American.
You did post one picture, and you could see a bit of your foot. I was going to be like, save that for her foot finder. Don't be giving away the free content.
Well, you got to tease a little bit, Jeff. You gotta tease a little bit. So, oh man! All right, so
I don't know whose foot it was, but
I don't know either. I get back and we're going through, stuff for the show over the past couple of days, and you send me this message, and you say we've got to talk about Barbenheimer, and I'm like, what the fuck is Barbenheimer? What the hell is this? I'm searching the internet for Barbenheimer. I can't find anything in any news circulation. I'm wondering what's going on, and then you sent me a few more pictures, and then it all clicked. So
it did. Yeah.
The Barbie movie, Jeff. The Barbie movie. How many times have you seen it already? It just came out.
I have not seen it yet. Although I believe the certified one is heading out to see both this weekend.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Now wait a second. When you say both, what are you talking about? There's two Barbie movies?
There's two movies. There's the Barbie movie, and then there's Oppenheimer.
There is. Yep.
So
Oppenheimer is a story about basically the Manhattan Project, right? The gentleman that created the atomic bomb.
Correct.
And he was given the green light to do the Manhattan Project, and then after World War II, when they were done with him, they were like, "Oh, you know too much, and you're saying that communism is great, so you don't get your secret clearance anymore, sir. Sorry, thanks for destroying two cities and millions of people. Just go sit in the corner." I'm paraphrasing.
So I think, and the reason this is a big deal is because it's not too often that there are two huge blockbusters. I'll use rock and roll quotes, blockbusters on the same weekend.
Yep.
And they couldn't be more different.
No,
but everybody's been putting them together. Everyone on the news, they've been interviewing anybody and who's got a pulse, whether they're politicians, sports people. Like, are you going to see Barbie? You're going to see Oppenheimer. A lot of people are saying they're going to see both. Clearly, they're not.
You have
clearly they're not. So.
Well, you've got these numbers on the screen, right? So this was just from the Thursday previews, which was the day before the release, right? 22.3 million just in previews, 10.5 million just in previews. I don't know what the length of time is on these movies, but I'm sure that plays a part as well. But Rotten Tomatoes, I don't really care about Rotten Tomatoes. I like to judge movies for myself.
Of course.
I would say that both of these movies got pretty good scores here from Rotten Tomatoes. So,
well, they also include fans. Fans. It's like Metacritic, right? They have the experts, and then they've got the fans, right? So,
right. Well, to your point, people are going nuts with this thing. There's memes popping up all over the place. They're mixing them together. Barbenheimer. Even Blockbuster got in on this one, and they have something. But
so, as a girl dad, are you going to take the Rileys to the?
No. I
you didn't know what it was. I am your daughter. I'm sure she knows.
No, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to watch it. Just because it's just not my thing, Jeff. But I am going to see Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I will see Oppenheimer. I love, I love historical shows, movies. I love wartime movies. This definitely fits in. So the main actor there, one of the tidbits that I read, they were saying that throughout the course of production, he would only eat, was it like one almond? Whatever it was, he would only eat one for the entire day because he wanted to feel the suffering so that could come out. And I'm like, man, you think about movie stars, you think about actors, you think about like, the glitzy ritzy, like, oh, screw these people, they got a ton of money, blah, blah, blah. Never really talk about the hard work that actors put into their craft. But when you look at like the body transformations that some of them go through, like the diets they put themselves on to lose weight for roles or to gain weight for roles, or, in this case, it was more of a mental thing, I think, for him trying to get into that role. Kind of sickening in a sense, because we wouldn't let any of that happen in other workplaces, right? So
and now he's
I can't remember. I think he said it was an almond. Yeah, now they're all on strike, huh?
Now he's on strike.
Yeah, all of them.
So we're not going to get
all
a
of them.
chance to talk about San Diego Comic-Con, but it's clearly having an effect on San Diego Comic-Con because a lot of the movies and a lot of the actors aren't going.
As soon as the strike was set in, did you get a call to see if you wanted to come and be a part of Movie Magic? Or you wanted to
but I've been telling people who don't listen that we got to make more content because people aren't going to have TV shows to watch. They're going to be looking to stuff on YouTube. So you got to make some more content so people who are looking for stuff to watch will find it. But nobody listens to me.
Well, part good there, Jeff, on you for suggesting that to people. That's always a great way to go. Or you could just take the easy road out and let AI do it for you.
Oh.
And that's exactly what I have for you here, Jeff. AI has generated a trailer for Barbenheimer. And I want you to watch and let's talk through this, right?
Ladies and gentlemen,
because this is amazing.
We're in a race against the Nazis. And I know what it means if the Nazis have the bomb.
Look at that.
She's a scientist, and I hear she's the best.
Good.
She's also a doctor.
Excellent.
She's also a flight attendant, astronaut, Marine Corps medic, paleontologist, veterinarian, and 3-time Olympic gold medalist.
I see the bright pink glow of a new era. We imagine.
We're so going to get in trouble for playing this, by the way.
Probably.
Our imaginings look fabulous.
Oh, well. Live once.
Barbie, together we're going to beat those Nazis. And we're going to look so good doing it.
Hey, Barbie, can I come to your secret laboratory later?
Sure. I don't have any plans. Just giving humanity the means to destroy itself.
I so badly wanted him to say, "Hey, Barbie, let's go party."
Delicious.
Way better.
Such a healthy glow.
Ken, that's weaponized uranium-235. You're probably going to die in like 12 minutes.
So you're telling me when I push this button, there's a chance.
Oh, shoot. No. Oh, it's my fault.
Yeah, but only like 60%. Hit it, Ken.
Oh, man. That's it. That's it.
Yep. She's a doctor, and a nurse, and an architect, and this, and that.
And a world-class athlete and a philanthropist. So, I mean, the fact that, and I don't know if this is 100% true, if this was all just AI, but we're just hearing all kinds of stuff with AI here recently. We just talked about the Beatles album, a couple weeks ago is going to be finished. Finally, the last Beatles album, thanks to AI. My work has come out and said that we are not allowed to use any of the chat bots, Chat GPT, Bard, anything like that.
Oh, yeah?
Purposes. Yeah. So, it's definitely a topic right now. I saw something last night that said somebody should use AI to fix all of our government's problems. So, anyway, interesting stuff. So, Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Would you see this movie?
I'd probably see Oppenheimer when it comes to some sort of streaming service. I'll probably see them both if they come to a streaming service. Am I going to go?
That's a double feature at the drive-in.
I didn't know if it was. I had Jim fact check the local drive-in to see if they were both there, and apparently they're not in the same. They're not in the same. They're not going to do that. They want to earn double the money. They're going to put Barbie in something, and they're going to make me then go to another night to see Oppenheimer and some other.
Yeah, but they could jump on the trend, and they could actually, advertise that as Barbenheimer and make it.
They could, but they want more money. They want me to come back twice. So
all about the money. All right. Well,
it is. So when it comes to a streaming service, then I will look at watching them.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. It'll be a matter of time. I saw the Mario movie is coming to Netflix in like December. So
So anyways.
All right. Well, Barbenheimer. So we got World Cup, we got Barbenheimer, and now we got some more tidbits. And did you hear about
Yeah.
And this is heavy on your end because I didn't hear about shit while I was gone. One of the crazy things about being away is that when you go to another country. No, they did, but it was all their news, right? So there's a lot of shit going on in England and Ireland right now internally. Like they've got some issues right now. There's like people, getting beat up in Dublin. I didn't see it when I was there, but apparently while we were there, 2 people got almost beaten to death on the streets.
Nice.
And then there's Brexit fallout stuff still and all that, cost of housing, it's all around the world, but I felt it when I was there. It was on everybody's mind. One of the crazy things about traveling, as you know, as a world traveler yourself, is that when you go some other place with your phone tells you that you're there, right? So you start to get like the advertisements on your phone, and you start to get like the news feeds on your phone from these places. And it was interesting, like, going on Twitter when I would get back to the hotel room, and all of the advertisements would be something about the UK, right? So just nice, cool, nice. I guess.
Nice.
All right. Did you hear about, Jeff? You threw this one at me, and if anybody is watching this part and has never seen what you do before, you do a show on the money of sports, right? You love the business side of things, and these NIL deals have been I'd say a passionate topic for you, because you've been you've been for them trying to get the name, image, and likeness, but there's more to it. There's a dark side of it, right?
There's always going to be a dark side. When there's money involved, there's going to be a dark side, and we always hear about, we hear about Mattress Mac investing another $1 million to the Houston Athletics. And we hear about, Livy Dunn is all over the place doing shit. But then you never hear about this negative side. And there are kids that, if there's money to be made, there's scammers out there trying to scam. And unfortunately, some of them are getting scammed on some deals. It is the reality. So you buyer beware. You need to have good people. I've asked you before about Riley and NIL deals, and you're flat against it, maybe for this particular reason.
Well, I don't think that the athlete, the student, I don't think that they have enough information to make a informative understand
No, they need to have people behind them. They need to have an accountant, a lawyer. They need to have people who understand the broader picture, and whether it's a parent, a paid professional, somebody, family member who understands the broader, right? Need to have an accountant and lawyer on the team, especially, someone like a Livy Dunn probably has a big team of professionals.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm sure her parents are probably involved in that process too, right? Usually superstars like that have family behind them, all the way. One of the issues that I have with school and with the education system is that we're so keen to teach people about the past, but we don't want to teach them about the future. And what I mean by that is when it comes to your personal finances, when it comes 100%. To what you're supposed to do as an adult, I mean, that's great. Yeah. Cleopatra lived in this time, and, King Arthur did this. That's all great. That's collegiate material. That's stuff that you learn when you want to specialize in a certain area. Right. But trying to give people tools to become better parts of society, better adults, better human beings. I think that's invaluable. And so for a lot of these college kids, I would imagine that there's just that excitement of, oh my God, they reached out to me and I'm going to get a deal. And they have no idea what they're signing. They're not looking through anything. They're not reading that fine print, or they don't understand the words that are in there. And they're too afraid to speak up because they don't want to look like an idiot. So that then they lose the deal. Right. So some of these people are going to kind of have them by the balls, so to speak, if you will. And it's unfortunate because this is my biggest problem with AAU basketball. The kids are exposed. It's not about the kids. It is not about the kids at all. It's about the adults. And when you have adults using kids for their own personal gain or their own personal benefit, it's ugly. It's ugly stuff. I don't like that mixture at all.
Yeah, you're right. Kids, they should teach how to balance a checkbook. They should teach, mortgages. They should teach shit like that. That when you leave,
interest rates,
compound interest,
IRAs.
20
arm loan. What is an arm loan, right? Like, what are stocks and
Sex
bonds? How do you use them? Like, I wish that there was more emphasis there.
100%. I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you on that. Yeah, should be.
We usually don't.
Yeah. There you go.
It
All right.
does suck, but there are.
Crops up. We always talk about the good side, but we have to talk about the bad side too. That's what we do here.
Yep. And that's in what I was just going to say is, as much as this sucks, there are still plenty of good stories out there where this has been a good thing. But kind of like the reviews of a product online, I always tend to go for the negative ones. I want to see what's wrong with it. So
yeah.
And then that way we can try to fix it. Hey, here's a story that you popped up for me. Jaguars assistant strength and conditioning coach Kevin Maxon becomes the first male coach in American men's professional sports history to publicly come out as gay. We've seen this story pop up in the NFL from time to time with players, but not with a coach. Doesn't mean that there hasn't been a coach, but this is just the first publicly. I have two questions for you, Jeff, on this. The first question that I want to ask you is, what do you think?
Who cares?
I like your answer.
I don't care. Is he good at his job?
Right.
I would assume so. He's working for a professional sports team as the strength coach.
Yep.
Can he do his job?
Do you think that the macho persona of an NFL locker room, that there's going to be some issues for some of them?
Probably. But there's issues. That's not specific to the NFL locker room. There's always going to be issues with some people, whether you call it the far left, the far right, whatever the extremists, whatever you want to call it. There are going to be people who don't like him or don't like the situation. Who cares? Can he do his job? I don't care who he goes home and cuddles with at night. Give craps. I don't care if he goes home with some hot chick or he goes home with some hot dude. Can he do his job? Can he make the team better? That's what he's hired to do, is make the team better. Do his job.
Absolutely.
And right? Like Bill Belichick always said, do your job.
Right. He's got a good head coach. He's got a good coaching staff down there, right? Doug Peterson. I don't think Doug Peterson puts up with too much shit.
No.
So he could definitely be on a different staff that might not work to him. My follow-up question, which was really supposed to be my second one, but I think I've asked 4 now.
Here's my 5 guesses.
Yeah, right.
I guess they're done.
As conservative as we have talked about Florida being, think this is going to be an issue down there? Do you think this is going to be something that's talked about?
Probably. The Florida governor wants to sue Anheuser-Busch because of the whole Bud Light thing, and their stock has dropped. Now he wants to sue. So probably. The Wingnuts in Florida. No offense if there's any Florida people watching, but
some of them are crazy. They're the Wingnuts. Just
some of them are crazy.
There's a lot of stuff going on in Florida right now. So always a lot of stuff going on in Florida. But anyway,
Florida
good for Kevin.
That's why Florida man is a big.
Yeah. I'm happy that he was able to come out and say this. Don't know what it feels like, but I can imagine from other things that I've had go on in my life, when you can kind of get something off your chest, you feel a whole hell of a lot better when you can be yourself publicly.
I'm sure he talked to Doug, and I'm sure he talked to Shad about it before he did it. So he wouldn't have done it if he didn't have the full support.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. So good luck to Kevin in his year of coaching here down in Jacksonville. That they've got a scary team on paper this year.
They do.
So we'll see if his hard work in the strength and conditioning area will help them stay healthy.
I'm glad we played in the NFC. Glad we played in the NFC.
Yeah, AFC's loaded this year, huh?
I'm glad we play in the NFC. At least we have a shot at it. We have a shot. The AMC,
Yeah.
it's toughy.
Jeff, before I left, we talked about Threads and how it was the fastest growing social media platform in history.
Just checking my threads here. Hold on. Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is anybody on there?
Yeah, no.
Because apparently they're all leaving. You talked about how this was a beta, right? It was supposed to be a beta. And then there was some pressure there once Elon started screwing around to go ahead and launch it. And they weren't fully ready, right? A lot of the features that Twitter has, they were not going to have. You had people instantly talking about how nice it was over there. You know, people singing Kumbaya. But then you also had people that were doing very inappropriate things because there was no structure, right?
Yep.
And now I think that some people have just kind of gotten that first bit off their chest, and now they're like, yeah, no, we're going to go back to what's comfortable, which is Twitter, Instagram, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I don't really know much about what's been going on with this because I don't have a thread.
I do refer to you as Threadless Ryzak. I called you Threadless Ryzak in my post this morning. Yeah.
Yes.
I did call you Threadless Ryzak. So I'm a little disappointed. When it launched, I said, "Oh yeah, they're going to put out some new features. They're going to do this. They're going to fix that." They just haven't yet, and I don't know why. Even my internal sources, it's coming. They just don't know when. It's just. And it skyrocketed because it was very easy, and everyone went like, "Oh, I don't like all this. There's all this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this." And then they just either deleted the app or just don't open it up.
Right.
And I think I think a few of us agree, it's got to be integrated into Instagram. And I think it will at some point. You may not remember there used to be something called IGTV. So Instagram had a separate app for posting long-form videos. They eventually turned that into Reels. I think this will be another tab. But they got to fix the problems. They just got to not fix the problems, but they got to get the features out there. But it might be too little too late. People, like you said, they probably used it and went, "Oh yeah, this is great, but I get all this shit from all these people I don't follow. I don't care." And then they moved on, deleted the app, and moved on, and will never probably return.
Then there was always the question about having to delete your Instagram too.
Well, again, they're going to fix that.
They will, but for people that are impatient, they'll just go ahead and do it and then start a new one. So,
or they'll just delete the app. You can just delete the app. You don't have to, just remove the app off your phone.
And just keep your Threads profile. Kind of stale.
Yeah. Sometimes I see people follow me. I click on it and they like no Threads because I think they just. They signed up and it automatically followed all your friends, everybody you were friends with or that you followed before, and it just did it. But a lot of people haven't threaded. And I think it's got. I think it's a good. I think it's good. And again, the threads I see, they're all just duplication of what's on Twitter.
Well, Meta has said that they're not concerned because they're still working on things. They've got new features, right? What else are they going to say, right? Like, sound the alarms. So I think it'll stick. I think it'll stick with a certain group of people, and I think that Twitter will have a certain group of people, and it's just the way it's going to be. You're just going to go where you feel comfortable.
They are moving to what's called a federated model, and that's what Mastodon and others are built on. Where it's part of a whole broader network, right? So you're going to be Ryzak at threads.net. And you'll notice if you click on it, it has, if you look at Instagram, you look at it, says it has threads.net. It's going to integrate all of the others. So if you can message actually somebody on Mastodon, right? Because they all have a unique address. It's kind of like an email, if you will. You want to think of it like an email. So I could actually from my threads, I could message somebody over at their Mastodon account, and they could get it, and vice versa. So they are moving into that federated model, which I could see someday Twitter doing, maybe. Yeah. But Twitter is still the thing, and as much as everybody hates it, everybody's back.
I thought it was funny. Everybody's like, "Oh, threads, forget this." And then all of a sudden you start to see these posts come out of people sharing what their ad revenue was. And then everybody's like, "Oh, Twitter."
Mr. Beast,
speaking of that,
Mr. Beast made $25,000 from his ads,
Just
in
impressions.
his comment, and ads in his comments. Tweet comments. People
but
commenting
aren't
on
the ads in the comments based off of the impressions? Am I wrong in that?
Yes.
I am wrong, or I'm right?
No, you are correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw new news last night, right? You had to have 5 million impressions a month over a 3-month span. Now it's just 15 million across 3 months. So you could get, 12 million in one post in January, and then 2 million in each of February, March, and still hit the quota. So nice to see them adapting and adjusting some things for that, right? I'm not cool enough to have people care about what I say, but for those that do and have that platform,
I post all sorts of shit, and then people are like, "Did you hear about this?" I go, "Yeah, I posted about it a month ago." Are you not paying attention? I go on Twitter once a day.
I do like seeing Elon interact with people on Twitter, though. I think it's funny sometimes. Somebody had come out the other day and said that we need to stop calling people followers, and he was like, okay, what do you suggest, right? Like, what would you call if they got rid of the term followers? What would you want to be called?
I don't know, friends, Twitter friends,
right? Like,
I call you a Twitter friend.
I don't know.
My Twitter friend, Ryzak. I call him my Twitter follower, Ryzak. My Twitter follower, Ryzak.
Right.
He's a friend.
Well,
you're a friend.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Well, I'm friendly, maybe.
Maybe.
If
I was in Raleigh, I don't think I'd go see you, but
oh, come on, Jeff. It'd be super cool.
When I get invited to the Epic headquarters, I
just drove by the new site yesterday. They still haven't built shit, so it's going to be a while.
Before I get invited to the new headquarters.
Yeah. You might want to curb your enthusiasm. Oh, shoot, Jeff. You had an important announcement to make, didn't you?
Yes. I want to announce that Jeff Janak and JMG Gaming is going to be the lead sponsor of a football team in the UK.
No way.
Okay. No, not really. But somebody is. Did you hear about this?
That is true. Yeah, I already I slid it prematurely.
Dude, perfect. He got it right in the production meeting. In the production meeting, folks, he got it right. But which always happens. Things always work great in the production meeting, but in here, not so much.
Well, we rambled a little bit because I was actually all set, and then we just kept talking and talking, and then I forgot.
So dude, perfect. An American. I'm going to call them a company because that's really what they are now. But content creaters, huge performers. They do world tours.
Content creators around sports.
Well, they do a little. They have a podcast. They do they do the trick shot.
But it started off with the trick shot stuff, right? Yeah.
They do a podcast and they do all sorts of fun things in addition to that. They're building out I don't know if you've heard this. They're building out in Dallas somewhere. Somebody from Cali could probably tell it more, even though he's from El Paso. They're building out like a whole dude perfect complex. And they are sponsoring a UK soccer team.
So this is Burnley. They are.
Did you go there?
Premier team, I believe. No, we didn't go to Burnley. Now this is going to be specific to the U18 team kits, so it's not going to be the main club, right? It's going to be the younger kids, but still cool.
That's their target audience, right? It
is absolutely
watching these trick shots.
Yeah. And we talked about this last night, right? You got Ryan Reynolds, who has taken part in ownership up with Wrexham. Okay. Wrexham is so when I was talking to my tour guide, he was like, we hate Wrexham because there's all these other little teams that are in that same league, but everybody wants to talk about Wrexham now because of Ryan Reynolds, right? He goes, so he actually challenged us. He said, when you get home, I want you to look at all of the other teams that are in the league with Wrexham, and I want you to find one of those other teams to be a fan of because that's the way it's going to go. This team is going to get all this publicity. They're going to win something, and then it's going to fall off the face of the earth. He said it happens all the time. Where I wanted to go with that was that, we know Ryan Reynolds as a movie star. We know him also as a businessman. He's got his aviation gin. He had Mint Mobile, amongst some other things. And so
I
he
just know him as a
star
Canadian
power.
dude. I just know him as a Canadian.
You know him as a Canadian dude.
He's just a Canadian dude. I don't look at him like a star or a bit. He's just one of us. He's just just one of us.
Well, he kind of opened the door for this article right here, right? So now Dude Perfect, as content creators, that's how they started, right? Are now building this brand to where they're going to be able to sponsor these jerseys, right? So when do we see the Mr. Beast team? When do we see the Ninja team? When do we see the Amaranth team? When do we, when do we see all of these other kind of people come in and start to get their name, image, and likeness out on professional sports jerseys? Because as you know, Jeff, at the end of the day, it's all about money, right?
Yep.
And I think the NBA was one of the last teams to go to putting the sponsors on their jerseys, right? Very small, but still they're sponsored. So
Still a couple of teams that have not. We talked about that in the previous show.
Yep, just a few.
But I don't know if Mr. Beast would sponsor a sports team because he does the philanthropy, but he's got the food, he's got the festivals. I don't know if a sports team is up his alley. If that's something.
Well, he could always link up with them and put a Mr. Beast burger in one of the stadiums, and then that would be his way of doing it, right? But he seems to be a lot better at business than me, so I'm gonna let him do what he does, right?
It's true. Yep.
This is the one that you were waiting for, Jeff. This one right here.
This is it. This is it.
So this is college football all-name team.
All-name team for the 2023 season. I have talked with Dr. Ray a lot about General Booty, and he doesn't know what I'm talking about half the time. Mind you, half the time nobody knows what I'm talking about. But there you go, my boy General Booty at the top from Oklahoma. I think Parker Titsworth, I think, is one of my favorites. I might have put Parker on the higher.
Shittasilla, man. Shittasilla. That's the one. So Dakotas Crawford, right? I was talking with you about him last night. He's the name on here that stands out the most to me because he, I think, has gotten the most publicity from his name. He was one of the first college athletes to get an NIL deal, and he got one with an air conditioning company in his town there. And it went along the lines of something like, is your AC the coldest it can be? If not, call my friends over here at whatever air conditioning company, and they'll come hook you up, right? Which was like the coolest play on his name that there possibly could have been. But Fat Watts, Tiger Shanks.
Pig Cage,
Storm Duck, Pig Cage,
Major Burns. You got your General Booty, your Major Burns.
I gotta say though, looking through these, my favorite one has to be Mobility. Mobility.
Never mind. I'm gonna ignore him since I can't even talk this morning.
Oh man. I like that. Mobility.
Yeah. There's your CFC All-Star. I was going to tweet this out, but I thought, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till the show.
There was actually a show or a skit, Key and Peele. Do you know who they are?
I do.
Okay. Did you see the skit where they talk about the football names when they introduce everybody? No? Okay, I'll have to share that with you. It's right along the lines of these names, right? They do like the Monday Night Football intro, right? They come up, they put their face on the screen, and then they say their name. So I won't ruin it here in case anybody hasn't seen it, but it's funny. I'll send it to you. I think you'll get a kick out of it, especially if you like this list.
I do.
All right. Hey, you shared this one with me too.
I did.
This is more your thing. I wasn't a Milli Vanilli fan.
I was not a Milli Vanilli fan either. And for those that are too young, which is most of you watching, back in what year was it? 34 years ago, they were in trouble because they were caught lip syncing. So all of their stuff, all their concerts, everything was lip sync. And they got into a lot of trouble. And my point to putting this up was I was laughing my head off when I read this because now I put on TikTok and people are making millions lip syncing to songs.
Right.
These guys
paved the way.
So much effing trouble, and our careers got ruined for lip syncing songs. Now there's some 52-year-old idiot on TikTok lip syncing to a song and getting millions of views. These guys must be going, damn it.
They're just in the wrong era, you know. They were born too soon.
They were. So that's the only reason I put that up, because I read that. I read Darren's thing, and I was just like, oh, they just think about all the people on TikTok now making millions. Go on TikTok. It's all just lip syncing. It's all just repeated audio. I've done it. Everyone's done it. It's absolutely hilarious.
I think it's just it's crazy. It was 34 years ago.
Yeah.
Whenever I see these things pop up, I'm like, man, I'm not that old, am I?
Apparently.
But I am.
So you would have been. You would have been. How old would you have been when this came out?
7.
You probably don't even remember this because you were 7.
I do, because we watched MTV was on in my house all the time. Remember, I had a sister that was 6 years older than me, so she was 13. So yeah, I mean, MTV music videos.
She was probably dancing to Milli Vanilli.
I was definitely dancing to some Milli Vanilli. I'm not gonna lie. So that's funny though. That's funny. Yep, I was whopping 7 years old.
I would have been 18.
18. Wow. Man, a man amongst boys.
Yeah.
Jeff, your favorite game on the planet, Madden, has announced the 99 Club for the 7th time. Aaron Donald, defensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams, makes the list. He breaks a tie with Peyton Manning for the most 99s in the game's history. There were, 5 total 99s? We had Patrick Mahomes. We had Travis Kelce. We had Justin Jefferson. We had Aaron Donald. Who was the last one?
I don't remember. I didn't pay attention.
Some offensive lineman. Sucky
someone
team.
who may not be playing this year. And if he doesn't play this year, if he does not play this year, our team that could be our season if he does not play.
Yeah. Zach Martin, is he right guard, left guard? I think he's right guard, right?
He's right guard.
He's a guard for the Cowboys.
The last time there was an offensive lineman that was a 99 was in 2003, which was another Cowboy.
Who was it?
Oh, you know who it is. Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Anyways,
he might be.
So yeah, I have many issues with many things, as you guys know. I'm not going to get too much into this. Everybody was waiting for the quarterback rating that came out. Was it yesterday? Thursday? Whatever day it was.
Yeah.
And again, the graphic was wrong. Because they had, and I'm not even talking. They had 2 players. They had Herbert and Dak with the same rating, and they put Herbert at 6 and Dak at 7. Well, that's not how you do it. They would have both
go alphabetical.
6. No, you put them both at 6, and then the next one.
And that's fine. But even still, you put them alphabetical, and Dak, a D comes before a J.
No, Herbert. Prescott.
Oh, they went off last name.
Yeah. I would assume, but that's not my issue. That's not my issue. Now, Ray should be.
The issue is that Dak can't get no respect. That's what it is.
And Purdy was a 70-something. Took the team to the NFC Championship game, and Purdy was a 70-something, and he's ranked lower behind guys who haven't even started a game yet. That was my.
I think they had Joe Burrow at a 92, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he went to the Super Bowl the year before. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. So that was my son's problem with the list, is that there's some guys who haven't even started yet, who's ranked higher than the guy that took a team to the NFC Championship game last year. So, but as I tell anybody who won't listen, the number means nothing. The ratings mean nothing. We all know that it means nothing, because I can beat Project Storm and his 99 overall team with my 60 overall team, because the game is broken and I know the broken plays, and so I can put the plays in and he can't stop. Which is why NFL Canada will not let me play in their Madden competition, because they know I know, and they say that's not fair, that's not good sportsmanship, and they don't want me to play. And my justification is, if it's in the game, then I should be allowed to exploit it. And
doesn't EA say it's in the game?
Then tell Madden to fix it.
Yeah, I thought that was their slogan. It's in the game.
If it's in the game.
Let me switch up because we're talking football. because we're talking football, let me switch up. I don't have
And
a slide for
we
it
are
this
going to
week,
do a
but
deep dive in August on the entire NFL season, so don't you worry. We will be doing a deep dive.
Oh, absolutely.
Entire NFL
There'll be a
season.
lot of NFL talk. One of the slides I probably should have put up was the discussion around the running back pay.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet this morning where the average running back in the NFL makes something like 1.5 million, and the average kicker makes 2.1 million.
It's true. They are making less than
you could say that there's 2, 3, 4 running backs on each team. There's one kicker on each team, right? You could talk about the pressure moments that a kicker has to go through, yada, yada, yada. But running backs just get abused, right?
They do.
When was the last 99 running back? Do you know? And do you know who it was?
I don't.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Adrian Peterson.
It could have been. And that old Adrian Peterson, that beast mode, that era running back just doesn't exist anymore. Derrick Henry came out this year. There's a number of factors we can talk about. Teams are going with multiple running backs now. Teams are going with running quarterbacks now.
Actually, I take that back. I think it was McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey got a 99. Maybe. Now that I just said that. I think he got one like 2 years ago.
But see,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to fix myself.
He's a hybrid. He also runs and he also does wide receiving, and he does.
But that's the game now, right? They don't use the fullback position. They don't load the extra blocker up in front of you like Jerome Bettis used to get.
Correct. And you can say if a running back does well, it's because of the offensive line. Whereas with a receiver, you're just one-on-one with another guy out there, and it's mano-a-mano, and you got to outdo the other guy, or Trayvon Diggs will pick you off, right? It's Justin Jefferson against Trayvon Diggs, and what's going to happen out there, right? Whereas the running back, you get hit a lot. The average running back's career is 3 years. There was a lot of players. Zeke is one of them that got paid a whole lot of money, and now the teams were all regretted it. Todd Gurley is another one. Austin.
We saw Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell came out and apologized, right?
He did. He came out and apologized for how he was.
Because he wanted to be paid.
Austin Eckler took a pay cut, and so did Jones on Green Bay. Took pay cuts in order to stay on the team to play. The running back, and you have a Tony Pollard who they put the franchise tag on, and he's going to do great. But we drafted a couple of kids, and the draft is full of kids that can replace them.
Shoot, they're talking about bringing Zeke back at $800,000 veteran minimum. I mean, he was a rushing champ a couple years ago, and he was a high draft pick. Would they take him 6th? Didn't they take him 6th?
4th.
Yeah. So,
pick. He was
that story right there in itself is sad.
He was co-rookie of the year with Dak, and it was the running back position is just and everybody thinks the running back job is to run the ball, and I always argue that's one of his jobs.
I got to watch Clinton Portis for a number of years, right? One of the things that Clinton Portis did well was block, right?
Yes.
He always used to get praised for his blocking in the backfield. It was like having an extra lineman back there.
So I was watching a game last year, the year before, with a Cowboy hater friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh, look, Dak got sacked," and I went, "Yeah, who was the running back on that play?" What? Who's the running back? It was Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is not a blocking back. The defensive guy ran right over top of him. Oh, look at that play! Dak escaped. Oh, how come? Oh, who's the running back? Zeke took the guy out because Zeke's a bigger, stronger player. Right.
Yep. No, it makes a huge difference, and so as we watch the game evolve and we go to these more, it's essentially a 5 receiver set because they just pull the tight end out, right? Because the tight ends are now receivers anyway. Hell, half the tight ends that they have in the league don't block. They just put them on the line as decoys. So, we see it across all sports.
The league is going to change. It's pass heavy right now. It'll swing back to running back.
It will. Everything does. It all comes back around.
It does. But the average running back career is like 3 to 4 years.
The guy I was talking to on the plane was a big Bill Walsh fan. So he was talking to me about all these Bill Walsh books that he read and this and that. And it's like, you take a look at that man. A lot of these coaches wouldn't even be in the league if it wasn't for him, right? There's still a lot of those principles that are still run today. They may have flared it out differently, but the concept is still there. So like you said, it will come back around because it all started somewhere. And, you can only evolve so much before you start.
Then you got to switch it up to get that advantage. You're going to switch it up to get that advantage, right? So,
yep. And then the people's mindset will be on the new, and they'll forget about the old. So let's go back to the old.
Yep.
Same way with basketball. Basketball is a 3-point. It's a 3-point game right now, right?
It is.
But then they're going to get all these big guys like Wembanyama. They're going to get them out on the perimeter guarding people, and what are they going to do? They're going to dump it back down inside. So it's coming. It'll happen.
We drafted Chris Dick, who might be the best 3-point shooter coming out of college.
I can't wait to hear his story throughout the season. We're going to follow him on this show. So arena football, we talked.
I guess I got to go to Toronto and do an interview.
Maybe so. Arena football. It's not as popular as some of these other outdoor football leagues, but man, is it fun to watch.
And the indoor football league is live on YouTube all the time. Watch a lot of that. Ray likes the indoor league, and he likes the arena league. So yeah.
Some great players have come out of the arena league, right? Most notable one is probably Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner was an Arena League football quarterback until he got the call to come try out for the Rams. Tried out. Trent Green goes down, takes him to a Super Bowl, and then a Hall of Fame career, right? So don't sleep on what these little leagues or these smaller leagues can do for the NFL prospect.
There are a lot.
These are the teams that will be in the.
There are a lot of kids that are in NFL training camps that have come from the USFL and XFL.
Yep.
Hey, I have a question for you.
And AFL.
What city is California? I laughed when I read this. Here are the 16 cities in California.
Yeah, you got California, you got Louisiana, you got Ohio, you got Oregon, you got Minnesota, and you got West Texas and Tennessee.
Yeah.
I love it. Social media person should be be reprimanded. We'll talk about some AFL as the season kicks off, but those will be the teams for this upcoming season.
It's gonna be great.
And then what some would consider to be the biggest news of the millennia. F you, Dan Snyder, little bitch. Washington Commanders have been sold.
Him and his $6 billion. Yeah, he's really upset.
Yeah, you don't give a shit about what I say, right? He was fined. They fined him as part of like all these investigations 1% of the sale.
Yeah.
1% of $6.5 billion. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Dude should have had to give up all of it, but it's already an exciting time. The new ownership group had a press conference outside of the stadium yesterday. Had thousands of fans that showed up.
Was dancing. He was dancing.
Excited. Yep. Magic was dancing. Magic is all about, wanting to bring back a winning culture. So great to see. You and I talked about it a bit last night, and I actually responded to Magic Johnson's post and told him they got to change the name. Right. I think the sale is a good start to kind of ease the wounds there. Now keep in mind, Jeff, I know you're a Cowboys fan. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I grew up a Redskins fan. My grandmother and I would call each other on the phone every time that they would score and sing Hail to the Redskins to each other. Some of the greatest memories I have in my life is watching Redskins games with my grandma. Going to Redskins games at RFK, and then even when they moved to FedEx Field, having season tickets RG3's rookie year and just seeing all that excitement. I was in, man. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I've got all of my Redskins stuff upstairs still. Nice. Dan Snyder ruined sports for me. He ruined team sports for me. He ruined fanship for me. And I know people would probably sit there and be like, "Oh, no, nobody can do that to you." That's because when you invest so much time, energy, emotion into something, and then your eyes are open to see what a joke it really is, it changes you a little bit, you know? And so I am hopeful to see my childhood franchise turn it around. But until every ounce...
124 views on that tweet you got there at time of publication.
You like that? And a retweet. Check that out.
And a retweet and a like. Nice. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I cut you off.
And until they can get rid of every trace of his existence in this franchise, I'll never buy anything. I'll never, you know, I still follow. I still look for the score. I still, you know, look at players on the team. But I used to be you like you are with the Cowboys, and I'm just not anymore. He killed it for me. So I'm sure it's not as big of a deal to you as a opposing fan, right? But pretty good time for the DC area right now. I know a lot of people are happy.
Yep, I good for them. Happy for the fan base. My sports producer and I were talking about this. They have to change the name, because that's just another step in getting the whole Dan Schneider out of there, right?
Yeah.
Whether they do something, I
mean, they're going to get a new stadium, right? So,
they did new stadium. Maybe the other one leaks sewage.
Right. I mean, they're getting a new stadium. So they had some land in Virginia that they were going to use, and then they pulled that land back. They pulled that deal back with all the controversy that was going on, right? So this new group is going to have to approach those dead conversations and try to reignite them. Northern Virginia is as busy as any place in the U.S., but it also has it has some infrastructure there that could entertain it. I personally would love to see them go back down to DC, tear down RFK Stadium, put something else back in its place. You have the Metro. It's right off the highway, huh?
They haven't torn it down yet. It's still there. In some
still there. Yeah, they built Audi Field for the soccer teams. The soccer team, the DC United, used to play at RFK. But then they built Audi Field specifically for soccer, and RFK just sits there now. So
they would have taken it down by now.
That's what I'm saying. Work on that land right there, and then just get you a new stadium going. Yeah, it'll probably take 2 seasons or so, 3 seasons, depending on how fast they can come to agreements. But I think the other thing that they need to do when they do that is they need to make sure that it has a roof, a retractable roof or whatever, because I think the DC area needs a Super Bowl. It's too big of an area not to have something like that. If you can have the Super Bowl in Minnesota, you can have the Super Bowl in DC.
They had the Super Bowl. They had the Super Bowl in New York.
Right. So these are. Let's be honest. New York is a way bigger market than DC, right? So,
no. But I'm just saying they can do it in a cold weather stadium. So if
they can. They absolutely.
If it doesn't have a roof, I don't know if that is a requirement, right?
Yeah, I know for a long time that was the thought, right? Which is why they would typically go to the warmer areas. But
correct.
We'll see. They've got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of decisions that need to be made. Right now, the Commanders are going to be the Commanders for next season. We'll see what happens. Each day will be a new day, and hopefully they'll point it in the right direction, because it kills me that my childhood team is no more, number one, and that it became such a laughingstock and a shit show, number two. One thing I will point out, and I told you last night, there's a sports show in the DC area called the Sports Junkies. They go by the Junkies, and they actually had a proposal: bring back the name the Redskins, right? But find all the indigenous tribes and offer them 1% of the revenue to kind of help them, right? And help show that good faith and help. I don't know if that would ever work, but as somebody that has a really hard time with the name change, for the reasons that it was, and the kind of episode that it went through to find the new name, I'm all for anything. I mean, just get rid of the stupid ass name. There's nothing about that does anything with the history of the franchise. I'd rather them go back to the Washington Braves, because they used to be the Boston Braves, right? Like, find your history, find something in your history, and that's what the fans will speak to if you're going to change it. So anyway, don't. I think
only day two. He probably didn't even know the Washington part yet. He probably doesn't even know where the washrooms. Doesn't even know where the washrooms are yet. He probably gets lost trying to find his office.
Well, the best thing about yesterday was that they had Joe Gibbs standing right next to them. So if you want to make some positive change, you get that guy involved, right?
There you go.
Jeffy, I think that does it for our topics this week. So now we're going to move in to 5 guesses. And it's a little light this week. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're going to nail this one. But I really wanted to... No. I think you're going to get it. So your 5 today, your 5 guesses. We're going to talk about beer.
Good.
All right. We're going to talk about beer because I went to the Guinness storehouse, got to watch how they make it, got to see a lot about it. I didn't know that Guinness had other beers that they produce. They have a cider that they produce. They have a lager that they produce. So that was pretty cool. So your question today for your 5 guesses is the top 10 most valuable beers in the world.
Wow. I don't even know there's a lot of beers I don't even know. There's a lot of European beers. There's a lot of South American beers. Don't
let me just give you a little bit of a head start here. I don't want you to think about your microbreweries here. Okay. I want you to think big picture.
I don't even, I see, I'm too knee deep. I know all the North American ones, and even the big Canadian ones, Molson and Labatt's. I don't even know if they would make the list. Because they're owned by Labatt's is owned by Interbrew, Molson is owned by Coors, and there's so many. I'm gonna say Heineken.
Heineken is number 2, Jeff. Number 2.
There's some. I think there's a Belgian one. I think that's bigger, but I don't know the name. But I think they're a Belgian company. Is there any? I'm gonna say something from the Coors company, whether that's Coors Light, or maybe or something from Anheuser-Busch.
There you go. Budweiser.
Yeah.
Budweiser is number 6.
Is Coors Light on there?
Number 2, and you've got number 6.
Or something from the Coors company.
Nothing from Coors on this list.
Interesting. I thought there'd be something from Coors. I think there's a Belgian one. Would I have even heard of any of these others? Again,
yes,
I don't.
Yes, you would have. Yep, you
would
have. One of them is, by some accounts, the most popular beer in the world, and they have lots of celebrities that will do their commercials.
Is Boddington on there?
Boddington is not on here. Nope. I gave you one answer already if you were listening to my trip.
Oh, Guinness?
Guinness is number 4.
Interesting.
So you've got Heineken at 2.
Boddington is kind of cool because they have a little CO2 cylinder that's in the bottom of the can, and when you
so it'll pop and give you the head inside.
Yeah. It's really
that's the Guinness thing. I think it's a nitrous ball, right? So that's what gives it that creamy head.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, come on, you can do this. There's 2 more on this list I think you can get. One of them is a South American beer.
Oh yeah, I don't know any of them.
Come on, you know it.
I don't.
It's gold. It's gold. You know it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. You put a lime in it, Jeff.
Oh.
A lime in the top of the bottle.
Oh, the Corona?
The Corona.
Yeah, see, I don't like limes. If I get a Corona, I don't get it with the lime.
No. Oh God. It's so,
I know, and
so
you should see the look of disdain that I get from the Kodak's dropping in to say Stella. That's a good guess.
That is on here. That is number 7.
Good
Stella
Kodak.
Stella Artois.
Didn't even think of that. I drink Stella. I drink Heineken. I don't drink Budweiser. I don't drink your American Swill.
Dave, we were talking about you earlier. I was showing Macclesfield on the stream. So thanks for jumping in. Yeah, Stella Artois is number 7. So Jeff, you did a pretty good job. I don't know if you're going to get any of these other ones because I don't know a lot of them.
I'm gonna edit it together to sound amazing.
There you go.
Thanks to my friends. Thanks to my friends at Wondershare and Filmora. I'm gonna edit this to make me look amazing.
The question was the top 10 most valuable beers.
Dave, what
in
other
the world.
any other British beers? He said any other British beers, Dave,
So
other than
Jeff
Stella?
got number 2 Heineken. He got number 4 Guinness. He got number 6 Budweiser. You helped him with number 7 Stella Artois, and he got number 9 Corona. So there's still
Carling.
4, 5 more. Carling's not on here. Give him a second just in case he gets.
Yeah, he said he didn't know the question. He said he didn't know the question.
And I know we have a little bit of a delay, so okay. So this list was consulted by Drinks International.
Foster's.
Okay. Foster's is a great choice, but it's not in the top 10.
Australian.
Drinks International consulted 106 bars around the world. Okay, so this came from bars all across the world. So some of these I've never heard of. Asahi Super Dry is number 1. You ever heard of Asahi Super Dry?
Where is it from?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me.
Oh.
Number 3, I have heard of this, is Peroni Nastro Azzurro. You probably just know it as Peroni. Okay, that's what it says on the bottle. So that's number 3.
Neither are available
number
in
5.
Canada.
Number 5 is Pilsner Urquell. I've never heard of that one. Number 8 is Brewdog. Brewdog. That sounds a little more like IPA. And then number 10, I have heard of it, but I don't see it very much, is Superbock. Have you ever heard of Superbock? No?
No, and see, and we have bars that have like international beers, but I never really look at that. I never look at it. I never, like there are places like we have beers from around the world. We have 108 beers on tap from around the world. And I'm just like, can I get a Stella? Can I get a this? Can I get a that? I'll have my local Wasaga Beach one right here. Look, I got a can right handy.
There you go.
Drink it in the
podcast.
There
are a couple of reasons for this question. First off, I went to the Guinness Storehouse while we were over in Dublin. Very much a tourist trap, but also very cool. Just the building and what they've done with it. I've never really been a big Guinness guy. I did enjoy it while I was there, so that was good. We do a drink called an Irish something. I don't want to say it on stream because it's pretty inappropriate, but you take a shot glass, you fill it with half Jameson, half Bailey's Irish cream. You drop it in the Guinness, you watch it ferment, and you drink it, and it tastes like chocolate milk, Jeff. I swear, it's so good. Nice. But we got told ahead of time that we should not ask for that while we were there because we would get kicked out of the bar. Another popular drink in the States is a black and tan, which is made with Guinness. They said that they don't mix beers there. So I found it very interesting, kind of the drinking scenes as we went from town to town. And Dave, if you're still here, you're going to like what I say here. London is London. It's a big city. It's an international city. It's a sanctuary city. It's like Toronto, right? I mean, it's just, there's people everywhere. So when I saw 50 people sitting out on the sidewalk at a bar, it didn't surprise me because it's London. There's millions of people there, right? We went to Liverpool. Liverpool was my least favorite part of the trip. And it doesn't have anything to do with what people told me about Liverpool because I'm the type of person I want to see it for myself. But it was just dirty and it wasn't very fun. Like I guess part of it was that it got cold and rainy during that part of the trip, but it wasn't a very fun city. No offense to anybody from Liverpool. I apologize. It just wasn't my favorite part of the trip. The drinking there was kind of weak. It was kind of weak. It just, you didn't see that same feel that you had in London of people outside at the pubs. It seemed a little poor. It seemed like people were really struggling in Liverpool, and I don't want to make assumptions about everybody. That's not my intention, but just what I observed. Right. Mm-hmm. Then we go to Dublin. I don't know if Dublin has any names as like the drinking capital of the world, but I swear to you, Jeff, that there was a pub every 2 shops. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just drink. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. There was litter everywhere as you walked around Dublin. I mean, there were just glass bottles broken everywhere. Right beside our hotel was a bar we went into, and it was kind of a sports bar. They had big screens up. We were watching the Tour de France. You know, there was a younger crowd in there. There were like some Russian bouncers at the door that were really scary and like all black and, you know, kind of like out of the movies. Like it didn't make me feel great. Right. Of course, I'm still the biggest guy walking in there, but it didn't make me feel great because they were talking in Russian when we went by. But this bar opened up into like 7 other bars. So cool. Imagine a city block. Okay. In the middle of that city block is an open area. So nice. You walk through this like bar, a courtyard. You get to another bar. Yeah. And then you go out into this courtyard. And from that courtyard, all the other bars around the block like opened up into it. You had a hookah bar. You had like 2 stages. There was like Irish band playing over here. There was like a rock and roll band playing over here. There were pool tables in the back. You had the sports bar up front. You had kind of, a dirtier crowd over here. And I remember like, I had a hard time going to sleep because we're 5 hours behind, right? So like midnight, and I'm still like, bing, like holy shit. So you just listen and you start to take in things. And there were people outside of our hotel room at 3:30 in the morning that were just smashed. You know, you'd go downstairs in the morning, it'd be quiet for like an hour or two, and then you would notice people lining back up at the pubs again, like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if I'm even accurate in what I'm saying, but with my eyes, people in Dublin like to drink, man. Like that is a drinking city.
When I was 19, I did a little tour of Europe. We went to Amsterdam. We went whatever. We showed up at 6 a.m. in Berlin, and the bars were packed. We got off the train. We got off the Eurail at 6 a.m. in Berlin. The bars were all packed, and we were like, "What the hell is going on here?" Dave can fact check us. Dave and Lee and the others can fact check.
Yeah, us. And that's I'm kind of pointing to the experts here. You know, yeah. That's just my experience, and it could have just been the time that we were there. You know, whatever. But the coolest thing was just seeing like people congregate. Like I know how you feel about COVID and congregation and stuff like that, but I mean, we would go by a pub and like people would just be outside drinking, laughing, having a great time. It was really, really cool to see, but I know of that bad thing spawn, which is where some of those news stories came in. So
Dave says Irish are renowned for their drinking culture.
Yeah, it was insane, man. I had not been a part of anything like that. Even college did not do that any justice. So, awesome. The people in Ireland were lovely to me anyway. And my family, I mean, we had a great time. I tweeted the one thing I took away from my trip more than anything else, Jeff, was that we encountered some of the greatest storytellers that I have ever been in contact with. And I don't know if that's because of the passion for the history. I don't know if, they just happen to have like the greatest characters, but especially when we were in Ireland and we did the Jeannie Johnston ship, that guy that gave the tour for us, I wanted him to be my grandpa. Like he was the coolest dude. He had me so captivated in his story. Like the first 10 minutes in, I'm just like it was incredible. So
nice.
Anybody going, on any of these trips and they get to experience that, man, the stories that I got to listen to were just out of this world. So that's the one thing I'm going to take more than anything with me is that experience. So awesome times. I'm glad that I went.
Excellent. That's great. That is great. And I guess that's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
That is it. We do have right before when we say goodbye, before the credits roll, we do have one final thing to put on the screen.
Yes, we do. Let me get that up here real quick, Jeffy. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
There you go. You can put that back up.
There we go.
And then we'll roll. So
that's right. We are back.
There you go. I'm glad to be back. Yep, glad to be back. Thanks for holding down the fort. Thank you to Ann and Jim for stepping in and having a great show with you last week. And maybe I'll take them up on that offer and we'll kick you out one week.
I'll still have to be here. I'll have to still work behind the scenes to drive the whole process, but put things on the screen and whatnot. But I don't have to be on the screen. I can just hide back here in my little podcast corner and drink my coffee and have the lights off and and
maybe Jim will bring Oliver, my favorite streamer.
We could talk about it. Yeah.
That would be good. Good time.
We could talk about that. And Son is a big streamer too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Twitch streamer.
Yeah. He's a big deal.
Well, maybe we need to incorporate that. Giving me some ideas.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, dude. I hope you have a good rest of your day, good rest of your weekend. Oh, I didn't ask Jeff. You don't have you guys don't have retro tomorrow. What do you got?
I believe we do. I believe it's on the schedule. I think we do.
Damn, I'm a week behind then. Okay, you got retro tomorrow. What are you talking to tomorrow?
I don't know. I haven't checked in with Will, so I'm not sure what he's got planned. So yeah.
Okay.
4 o'clock Eastern should be retro.
Be on the lookout.
We'll have to see. He just had the big trip, so we'll have to see if he's still up for it or what's going to happen.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get back into work next week, and then I'll figure some stuff out. Maybe I can link up with you during your gameplays or something.
Sounds good. All right. I'm gonna take us off the screen for that final one. Bye, everyone. See you next week.
See y'all. Have a good week.